Pasty guy.
Hello, hello.
Happy New Year, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, happy New Year to you as well, mate. Yeah, okay, really. How are you?
Not bad. I mean, was that more or less what you expected today against Leicester City at home? 2-1 defeat?
Yeah, I think we pretty much reverted back to type, didn't we? Near
Mm.
enough. I think the performance against Liverpool, as good, as good as it was, although we probably would have lost by a couple on another day. I think that was nothing more than a flash in the pan. This is pretty much the norm now. But I've seen some people saying that we played well. Really, our standards rock bottom now to that point where we think that was a good performance.
Mm.
I mean, bar the last 10 minutes, it was poor. We just look. I mean, you look the quality of the Premier League is, I'd say it's as poor as I've seen it. But it takes some doing for us to be the most slowest and most unfit team in the league, if I'm being honest.
It looks like we're so unfit from the. I mean, it is 3 games in about a week, but the middle of the park, especially, and maybe
Yeah,
even defence as well at times. A lot of the talk today was obviously about Isaac Hayden being suspended. Who would you bring in before the game? Shelby, Sean, maybe even Jeff Hendrick. Sean was chosen, play alongside his brother Matty. What did you make of Sean Longstaff's performance today? Did he do enough? Is he good enough at Premier League level?
well, I guess obviously I think it's clear that he's not been the same player since he had that injury after a few months, and obviously the Man United interest. I think that's turned his head, if we're being honest.
Since
I don't
Rafa.
think I don't think I don't think it's just a Bruce problem either. I think he genuinely had. He even admitted it at the time. He admitted that the Man United interest did turn his head. You can tell because the good performances have been few and far between. But I guess the problem is, you take Hayden out that midfield, we look completely short in that department, don't we? I don't think we've even. I'd go as far as say we never really replaced the army, if I'm being honest.
It's a good point. Very good point.
On his day, he was that perfect box to box midfielder who could just break up play, help us charge down the other end. But
Bruce has actually said Bruce, who's obviously worked with Diomé before at Hull, I think he said that he'd wish that Diomé was still at the club, and in a way you can get that because he used to get a lot of Diomé. Obviously, we love him over here because he did an interview with him, but he was a decent enough player, and he was that character that we need right now. The box to box.
Well, look at the Doucouré at say Everton, that kind of player.
Doucouré,
someone like that. But alas, we don't have that. But the thing is, is for what you could say with Sean Longstaff, you could argue about a lot of those players. A couple of years ago, those players were half. You could argue they were half decent. But a couple of years on, they're not quite as good consistently. And there's only one consistent factor in that, and that's the bloke in the dugout.
I
mean, you don't know if you remember. Do you remember the Leicester game in Rafa's last season, the away one where we won 1-0?
Yeah, the away one.
I remember that performance because I think a couple more additions and we'd probably be closer to their level.
Because what I remember most about that as well is Rafa's post-match interview with Jimmy Carragher when he was saying look, I want to stay here. We've got the foundation. We can build on this. I want to do X, Y, and Z. And then obviously a month later he's out the door. That was the thing that stuck with me. How different things could be if he was still here.
Yeah, and we were only a couple. Only a couple of additions away from us being on their level, but now we're miles off them on and off the pitch. And when you see sides like Southampton, Wolves. Yes, they've gone stale as of late, and even Leeds. I mean, Leeds have been out the Premier League for what 16 years now, but yet they seem to have the foundations to do more than just stay up.
All right, cheers, mate. Oh, quickly, actually, I want to ask you about Andy Carroll because I asked this and I'll ask this to everyone. Does he deserve a new contract? Scored his first goal tonight back in Newcastle since he was joined.
No, I mean, it was a good strike, but it's one of those where on another day it goes into Rose's head, but ultimately, no, I just don't. I think his legs have gone. I don't think he offers barely anything. I mean, bar being a target man, but I don't think he's even good at that anymore. I think we need. I guess if we're looking at someone up front, we need someone more agile in the air, someone who actually has the strength to do these things. And for being honest, we never really had that since Rondon. We never had someone who could.
Okay, cheers, mate. We'll see you again next week.
I see you then. Bye.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.